Hello and welcome to another vlog. I'm going to film today and tomorrow, I think. It's Sunday today and we have a promise of snow and it has just started to have a very light flurry. Dan's just taking Phoebe out. We need to get milk. We've completely run out of milk. So they're going to go and get that and I'm going to get started on preparing dinner for later today. It's only about 10 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to have a cottage pie, which I can make in advance and then not have to worry about, which means we can spend the rest of the day doing creative things. Phoebe and I want to bake some biscuits, which I'll show you. And we'd like to get out for a walk if the weather allows. So yeah, just a cosy Sunday at home, hopefully a nice, peaceful, creative one. And I'll film everything that we do. It's Burns night tomorrow night, so usually my mum, who's part of our household bubble, would come over on a Sunday to have Sunday dinner with us, but actually she's going to come tomorrow instead so we can have our Burns night supper. My parents, well, my mum is Scottish, my dad was Scottish, he's no longer with us, so we've always marked Burns night. And we will have a vegetarian haggis because our youngest daughter Phoebe is vegetarian. And we tried a vegetarian haggis last year for the first time and actually found we preferred it. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And I'll show you everything that we have as part of our Burns night meal. So right now I'm going to go and prepare vegetarian cottage pie. So I'll show you what I do for that as well. And I've been editing my podcast this morning. Got up and I filmed it yesterday on Saturday, so I've just got a bit of editing to do. It turns out I waffled rather a lot, so if I waffle too much it's harder to edit because I need to try and edit it down a lot more. So yeah, I've obviously really needed to have a nice long chat about knitting and crochet and all the lovely stuff like that. So I want to try and finish that and get that exported today as well. My editing software is very old and decrepit and it does give me a lot of problems. So I'm trying to investigate alternatives, but they're all quite expensive. In terms of something like Adobe Premiere Pro, you have to pay monthly for that and that's a commitment, isn't it? I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Yeah, so we'll have to see about that. I'll have to do a bit more investigation. But for now, I've got several sort of little tricksy workarounds that I have to do in order to export my podcast when it's finished. Okay, I've got the place to myself. Lily is still in bed. Dan and Phoebe have gone to the shops. So I'm going to go and get started on dinner whilst it's still quite peaceful. So the trick with turning this recipe from a normal meat-filled cottage pie into a vegetarian one is I exchange the beef for corn mince, and with the beef you would brown it first, take it out the pan and then add it back into the sauce to simmer. But actually when I did the vegetarian version I make the sauce, so I just leave out the whole beef bit. And then when the sauce is made and has a nice flavour, then I will add the corn because the corn doesn't take much cooking, it doesn't need browning and it absorbs a lot of liquid as well. So at that stage I can cook it and then see if I need to add any more water or anything. Although with a cottage pie, we don't want it to be too sloppy, otherwise it's not going to come out of the pan when we come to serve it very well. Also, instead of using beef stock, I use vegetable stock, but I put a couple of tablespoons of beef bisto in. Gives a really nice meaty depth of flavour, and surprisingly it is actually suitable for vegetarians. I think I say this in nearly every vlog, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it is actually suitable for vegetarians, which is brilliant to get that little bit of extra meaty flavour in. So I'm going to pop a couple of spoonfuls in with the stock. And I will list everything. I'll write the recipe out and put it in the description box underneath if you want to try it. Quite honestly, we love cottage pie, but when my youngest daughter became a vegetarian, it was a year ago now, I started to experiment with some family favourites and just, you know, making vegetarian alternatives. And there were some things where honestly it makes very little difference. And my husband's actually stopped eating red meat as well as a result of eating less red meat generally. He just decided he wasn't going to eat it anymore. And we don't really miss it, to be honest. And this version of vegetarian cottage pie is lovely. We really enjoy it. So we kind of prefer it now. It's just started snowing. It's very light flakes at the moment. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I really hope it settles. I love snow. They're really big flakes actually. Phoebe's going to be so excited. I hope it settles and we can go out and have a walk in it later. The flakes are huge. I have snow in my hair.
Hello, and me and Mum are going to be making cookies.
These ones?
Yeah, I have this thing and it's called 30 recipe cards, and we chose the orange shortbread start, and we are going to make this.
And you're very orange today, aren't you? So I made this hat. It went a bit wrong, but it didn't go wrong. I just knit it in the wrong weight of yarn, but it fits Phoebe perfectly, and it matches your jumper.
Pretty.
She's been wearing it all day.
And yesterday.
Right, so we get started on these cookies then. I'll leave the cottage pie is just bubbling away. The sauce is bubbling away and the potatoes are cooking. So I'll assemble that once they're all done. But in the meantime, let's get cooking.
Yeah. I'll tell you when. Stop.
So the recipe calls for semolina or ground rice. We don't have either, so we're going to use corn flour instead. I've no idea if that's a suitable alternative. But because these are shortbread stars, and normally when we make shortbread, corn flour would be involved, I figured it would work. It's only 25 grams, so you can't make too much of a difference.
Yeah. So now, as you can see, I am cutting this butter into bits to get 100 grams. Oh!
What just happened?
You squeezed orange juice all over.
Fortunately, it didn't go in your eye. Oops. They're going in the oven. Ooh, right, get them in there.
Right, we're going to put these ones on the second shelf.
Are you watching the birds, Dan?
I'm trying to find the birds because it's so wet and horrible outside.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where they're hiding.
Maybe they're in my birdhouse.
Maybe.
Say hi to the vlog.
Or should we say afternoon? Bacon sandwich?
Look, I made cookies. One of my biscuits.
So good. So good. This little paintbrush stand was a gift from my sister. I've never seen anything like it before. Whilst you're doing whatever you're doing with your brushes, you can rest them on your little paintbrush stand. I kept the card. It's from this person. Ooh. Little House Creations on Etsy.
Ooh, this is a wonky sandwich.
Doesn't matter. If it's wonky, then it's your own type of sandwich that you're drawing.
Lilia,
Hello?
what are you drawing?
I'm drawing the Fitz sandwich from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Fitz sandwich from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, that one's yours because it has the white.
Yes.
Do you want to borrow mine?
No, I have my own pencil.
Okay. What are you
No, it's on
drawing,
YouTube.
Phoebe?
I am drawing a gumball machine.
Ooh, there's going to be so many
Because,
colours
can I
in
tell
there.
them why?
Yeah.
I watched someone on YouTube called Mariah Elizabeth, and her latest video was her decorating a gumball machine.
Very good.
Here I am drawing a gumball machine.
And Phoebe, you have company, I see.
Yes, Mia.
We don't have a cat, do we?
Yeah, this is Mia's cat.
This is not our cat.
Say hi.
She's just a cat with that's a glutton for punishment.
You can go back in your box now.
She likes a box.
You're so weird. She's a very strange cat.
She is, but
Really
she likes
strange.
you, doesn't she? What's she doing?
Where's her brush? I found this brush and she loves it. Oh. Do you want the brush?
We're having a nice creative hour. Girls are both doing some drawing. I've been doing a bit of drawing. I haven't had a chance to pick up pencils and paints and stuff the last few months. So I'm trying to make an effort to practice every day. But right now I'm going to go and edit a bit more of the podcast that I filmed yesterday while I've got a little bit of spare time. How's the sandwich coming along, Lilia?
Very nice.
So we've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of an evening, and Lilia's drawing the what is it? The mozzarella. It's the sandwich that's a
Hang
thing
on.
between Fitz and Agent Simmons.
It is a classic prosciutto, mozzarella, and pesto aioli.
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 It's all finished. You're doing so well.
That's all I've done, and all the used pages with all the pens and pencil markings, and that's all the pages that I haven't drawn on yet.
It's nice,
except
isn't
for
it?
that little pen.
It's so satisfying, isn't it, to see all those like crumply pages where you put all that artwork into.
Yeah, and the one that I just did now, my arm's kind of tired, is this.
Look at all those colours.
Look, there's even a purple gumball right there.
Nom nom nom. The fit sandwich is finished as well. Lilia, that is brilliant. That looks exactly like it.
Lilia,
with the little wrap around it.
So that's all she's done, and then that's all to go.
Coloured the pages.
That's so cool.
Right next to a teacup as well.
We're going on a walk. It's about 3 o'clock. We've had a lovely cosy afternoon doing drawings. The snow has stopped. It's just a bit drizzly and rainy now and rather cold. So we thought we'd go for a quick walk over to the heath, which is a big heathland near where we live. I've got all the mismatching hand knits on. I've got my hand striped mittens according to Badagak mitts. This is my Waru shawl, and the crazy hat is my Hello Yellow hat, even though I knit it in orange yarn. So I'm going to be nice and warm, and I can go out for a walk knowing smugly that dinner is already done. Yay me. I'm going to show you how close we are. I'm sure you can hear how close we are to the motorway. I'm going to walk over here. So you can see this is the edge of the woods that are at the edge of the heath, and there's all the cars on the motorway. I wonder where they're all going, given that we're in lockdown. If it was never for your wellies, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary. They're all up the tree.
Ready?
This can only go badly.
I'm going to throw it up in the air, it's going to smash.
Are you having fun, Dan?
What?
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
My lovely crocheted welly socks need a bit of a wash, and I've got some other hand knitted socks and things that need a hand wash. So whilst I'm running my nice warm bath, I'm going to sort that out. Hello, it's now Monday. It's actually 11:15 on Monday. It's been a bit of a full-on morning. Phoebe's had a lot of work to do for homeschool, but as has Lilia. I've been parcelling up orders for the Etsy shop.
And guess what? I'm still wearing my hat.
She's still got her hat on. And I'm just making a cup of tea for Dan and I, and then we're about to get back into homeschool. We just had a little break. I started editing all the footage I took yesterday, and there was a lot more than I thought. It didn't feel like I'd filmed that much, but apparently I rabbled on for ages, so I hope this vlog's not going to be too long. So tonight is Burns night, so my mum's going to be over later this afternoon to join us, and we've got a vegetarian haggis. Do you want to get the vegetarian haggis out to show? So last year, because Phoebe's been a vegetarian for a year now, and last year for the first time we tried a vegetarian haggis. Now I really like haggis, my mum doesn't, Dan really likes it, Lilia likes it, but we got the vegetarian one and we all loved it. It was so much nicer than the normal one. So we've only got a vegetarian one this year, and we'll have that with
Thanks to me.
which is actually mashed
You can all
sweet.
thank me.
Thanks to Phoebe. And vegetables and a cream and whiskey sauce. So I'll show you what we do for that later.
And it's vegan.
But right now, is it vegan as well?
It says Vegetarian Society Vegan Approved.
It's a vegan haggis. That just makes me picture an actual haggis, because obviously haggises are actually real creatures, aren't they?
Yes.
As my uncle always says, they have two legs shorter than the others so that they can run around the hill. I've just realised we just sat down to get on with SPAG. What does SPAG stand for? Spelling,
punctuation and grammar.
Yeah, and realised I hadn't actually told you, in case you weren't aware, what Burns Night is.
I know what Burns Night is.
Why do we celebrate it on the 25th of January?
Because Robbie Burns is a Scottish poet, and I think the 25th of January is his birthday.
That's right. Robert Burns is a very famous, perhaps the most famous Scottish poet, and the 25th of January is his birthday. And he famously wrote a poem called the Address to the Haggis, which you read out on Burns Night as the haggis is brought out. So we might make my mum do that. It's quite a long poem though, so maybe just a little bit of it. Right, I think we really do need to get back to homeschool now, otherwise we're going to be doing it until about 6 o'clock tonight. Come on, let's go.
Miss Burns.
Go. Right, I've snuck upstairs because I've got like 5 minutes whilst everyone's having their lunch before we resume homeschool, which has been quite stressful today. And I wanted to just mention a couple of things. The first thing was, I had a couple of comments asking how I'm getting on with the ordinary eye serum that I bought. Bought this from Boots, and I talked about it in the last vlog. It's supposedly good for dark circles under the eyes, which I suffer with because it's genetic. I've got a lot of concealer on and you can still see the dark circles under my eyes. I will keep you updated. At the moment I've been using it for about 6 days. I haven't really noticed much of a difference other than to say it's lovely to use, easy to put on. It's great that it doesn't have any fragrance, and I'll keep you updated. But if you start to see me looking tremendous, this will be why. It's very unlikely. And the other thing I wanted to mention was a vlog actually. I'll link it underneath. I accidentally stumbled across a vlog. The name of the channel is Simple Joy. She's quite a young girl. Well, she's in her 20s, and she lives in France. She's American. I think she's American. living in France. Very different. She talks about slow living in a kind of non-slow way, I think she describes it as. And I just stumbled across it. It came up in my recommended videos, and I think I popped it on whilst I was making dinner one evening. But she spoke about watching YouTubers or anyone on YouTube talking about whatever they're talking about, the ones that you really connect with and the ones that you like. And it really struck a chord with me, so much so that I wanted to share it with you, because I don't know about you, but when I watch like my favourite channels, my favourite vloggers, I get a real sense of, I don't know, happiness from watching, and it's hard to put your finger on why that is, even if they're just, I suppose like me doing mundane things like chopping potatoes, talking about haggis and stuff like that. But the way she put it was that when you're watching someone that you feel you have a connection with, it's because they are reflecting back to you what's already in you. So that's why you're making that connection, because you recognise another soul on the planet that has things that resonate with you. She put it in a much more succinct and beautiful way than that, but it just struck such a chord with me, and I thought she put it so eloquently and so wisely that I wanted to link that video and just send you in that direction in case it was something that might interest you. She's a very different personality to me, very different channel, but well, vive la difference, if that's the right phrase. Yeah, long live difference. Right, I'm going to stop yabbering on. I'll catch up with you later. It's 4:30 and Phoebe and I are going to make Burns Night shortbread before I have to get stuck into making dinner.
You left someone out, and Granny.
And well, yes, Granny's observing. My mum is here ready for our Burns Night supper. There she is. And Phoebe's got her special Burns Night tartan dress on. So we're going to make some shortbread quickly. Hopefully quickly. And this is my uncle's recipe that he emailed to me ages ago. I've never made it. So we're going to make his version, which I'm sure is just the same as any other version of shortbread. But if I'm including this bit in the vlog, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. I will put the recipe underneath. Right, let's get started. I'm not going to film the process. We're just going to make them, and then we're going to show you how they turn out.
Yeah.
Use not the dough.
Right, here's the Swede. Normally we would put it in the microwave whole and just let it cook for ages until it's all soft, and then take the innards out and mash it. But it's too big, this one. We're going to boil it. So Dan's going to use his muscles and a giant knife. And his manliness.
Be careful.
What are you looking for, Dan?
These all. I'm looking for various whiskies for Burns Night.
Mum has got a monkey shoulder.
Her whiskey got her actual shoulder. She's not had dodgy surgery.
And Dan and I have got the same one. We've got a famous
Grouse Black.
Black smoky.
No, it's just called Famous Grouse Black.
Oh, it says smoky.
Yeah, it says smoky on it, but it's called Famous Grouse Black.
Famous Grouse Black. It's very nice. It's a peaty one. I like a peaty one.
way to the haggis. You ready? Fair fire on a sonsy face, great shifting o' the pudding race. Aboon them a' ye tak your place, pain, stripe or thorn. Weel are you worthy o' a grace as lang's my earn. Right, last verse. I'll spare you. Your powers wha mak mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland once nae skinking ware that jops in luggies, but if you wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis.
Haggis time, haggis time, haggis time.